Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life, and it is a big day in the wireless industry. The T-Mobile and Sprint merger has officially closed. The bank loans have been released, the funds have been paid, and the transaction is completed. So there's several things ongoing today, so be looking forward to a part 2 video of mine. There's going to be some more info released, and then there's going to be some more info of mine. Also, what took place here today with this closure, John Legere is immediately effective immediately, no longer the CEO. That transition and that reins now have been given to Mike Sievert. So he is going to, from this on forward, be the CEO of the combined company, the new T-Mobile. So there's several things ongoing. As I mentioned briefly in the video yesterday, there was an outage. Some of you have noticed it. It was late at night. It went here, my time is Mountain Standard. It went from about 12:20 to exactly 12:46, and then the services came back up. From my sources, that was merger related. There were some tweaks being made. That's why it was nationwide. And there's several other things going on now. With this closure, there's going to be network integration. There's going to be so many things happening. And of course, there's going to be info released. What happens to the Sprint plans? Are they going to keep all of the perks and all that stuff? So we'll get that info over the next few days and weeks. We'll get more and more of that info that everybody's been waiting for. So again, a lot of you have said this is an April Fool's joke. This is not going to happen. As I said in the video, I saw an official comment. They just deemed the review of the Public Utilities Commission of California irrelevant at this point, and same with Judge Kelly at this point. California can't cross their state lines, so they have no jurisdiction of a nationwide merger. They can only decide what happens in their state. They already gave a preliminary approval of the deal to begin with, so it wasn't a big deal to go ahead and close on the first. Judge Kelly, everybody's been looking for him, but again, as I stated, they also deemed his review irrelevant. He has no backing from the federal government or anyone else to fight against the deal. So they just went ahead and closed the deal today. So right now, you are no longer a Sprint customer. You are now a T-Mobile USA customer. Also, another thing I wanted to clear up about yesterday's video, the 90-day free trial from Tidal, that was not T-Mobile USA. I just used that as an example. This is T-Mobile in Poland, in Europe. I just used it as an example that T-Mobile, DT, Deutsche Telekom does have a partnership with Tidal. So that's why I'm thinking they may keep Tidal on board, because Sprint is a stakeholder of 33% in that company. So as T-Mobile bought out Sprint, they are going to be, they're going to take on those shares. What they do with them is unknown at this point, but I think it's a good perk. Verizon has Apple Music. AT&T had Spotify. So why not use Tidal? I've used it. It's not as popular as, say, Apple Music or Spotify, but it is a music service nonetheless. And if it does come free with the package, why not? So there's lots and lots more info to cover on this. This is just a brief video that I wanted to make. It may be a little longer, but I just had to touch on a few of those points. And I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. I know a lot of you guys have mixed feelings about this. Are we going from 4 to 3? Are we going from, potentially competition to no competition? I think the competition on the network side now is going to be the biggest it's ever been. This company, the new T-Mobile, is the biggest threat to an AT&T and Verizon that we've ever seen in the telecom industry. I want to start off by that. T-Mobile's still years behind, of course. You just can't. It's going to be tough for them to make up an investment of hundreds and billions of dollars from AT&T and Verizon overnight. That's not going to happen. The new T-Mobile is going to have to, on a yearly basis, increase coverage. Of course, that comes with investment. I think they have to increase their capital expenditure drastically, in my opinion. If they want to cover what they say they're going to cover, I think they have to do so quickly. And like I said, early on, you're going to notice a difference in network performance as they combine the cores. That'll be the software integration, what happens first. And then after, while that is ongoing, we'll start seeing the integration of the actual physical equipment. So then we'll see, okay, what are the keep sites? What Sprint sites are they keeping? What sites are they going to add the Sprint equipment? And where we're going to start seeing all of that happening and taking place. I'll be keeping track of that here. Of course, there are other markets that are going to take priority, but T-Mobile, luckily, they have a good chunk of market share. So El Paso in itself is not necessarily considered like a Dallas or New York, but based on market share and growth that they've taken on here this year, still, they're gonna, just that alone gives the market priority. So I'm gonna be able to keep track of that for you guys, give you some examples, maybe even take some video footage of the integration happening. Do they use the same equipment from Sprint? Or do they just say, we're just going to add massive MIMO? We're going to see all that unfold over the next few months. So I just wanted to make this video, like I said, touch on a few points. There will be a part 2 coming later on today, so be looking forward to that. That'll probably be the very first video on the channel that I do that's scripted. None of my videos are scripted. I just go off the top of my head. A lot of this knowledge I've gained over the years, like I said, so I know most of this stuff. And then there's some people that I speak with on a daily basis that are giving me some teasers and such. So yeah, so be looking forward to that video as well later on today. But like I said, it is a big day in the telecom industry. This merger, after 2 years and some months maybe, is now finally closed. Actually, it's 2 years. Since it's April, they called it, and I think they announced the merger in April of 2018. So yeah, it's been 2 years officially this month, and it's finally closed now. So we can kind of move on from this whole back and forth thing. Is it going to get approved? Is it not approved? And now we can move on and really dissect if T-Mobile is going to make true of their statements of the Un-carrier stuff. Are they going to keep all the plans that they said they were going to implement? Are they going to be able to be as aggressive on the network as they said they would? Is it going to perform as they said it would? The average speeds, the 14 times increase in capacity. So we'll be able to really not call them out, but to call their bluff. Are they going to able to do it, or are they going to start operating like any other big business corporation? Are they going to, think about the profits first, the bottom line, and are they going to stop caring and being so consumer friendly as they have been with the Un-carrier moves? And I think a part of that starts with all those perks. If they can keep some of the perks, that would be nice. It would be another Un-carrier move, consumer friendly. Do they keep them all? In my opinion, no. It's just not business friendly to keep all the perks for free. That would be an insane amount of money that they have to spend monthly to keep those free for the customer. I mean, they just but they just got the partnership with Quibi. That's launching. I'm sure you guys have seen some of those advertisements. Netflix has been a big one, but Netflix alone is getting pretty expensive for T-Mobile, so they even had to increase the cost a bit for the customer. So the Quibi one is going to be a cost. If they remain to keep Tidal, that's going to be a cost. Then Hulu, that would be a cost. Amazon Prime, I mean, they already have that on Metro by T-Mobile, so I don't know if that would be necessarily such a huge increase. I'm sure it would be. And then they do the in-flight Wi-Fi. I know some of you guys said that's very niche. It's only depending on the airline. But again, it's still a perk. So if you are on that airline, you do get that free 1 hour in-flight Wi-Fi. So again, just keep all of this in mind. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below now that this is officially completed. Like I said, this is a T-Mobile.com official article. I will leave that in the description down below so you guys can read it in full, check it out for yourselves. The network synergies and all that stuff is good. I think personally they are going to borrow against that. I think they want to ramp it up and really get really aggressive on the network side, because I think that was mainly what this merger was meant for, is really the network integration and just the additional capabilities that T-Mobile will have, which will accelerate the additional growth that they were already going to get. So this year, T-Mobile was on a projected growth trajectory for the year 2020. And as a standalone, that just would have been tough. They just didn't have enough money to go around to convert all the small cells, to roll out new sites, to roll out upgrades. They just didn't have enough, and then still expand the network. The networks in a lot of areas would have crashed, so to speak. So now with this, I mean, they gain, I don't want to say unlimited amounts of spectrum, but they gain a big boost in spectrum that allows them to simply increase a cell site that's already in place by who knows how many percent and how it'll perform. But instead of having to file a permit for a small cell that needs approval, file a new tower within a half a mile because a certain sector is overloaded, they can now simply take that spectrum, add it on the cell site, and increase capacity that way. Much faster, much simpler. And of course, they may still need to add another site in that area. But for now, this additional spectrum will help. So if you are on a cell site that's on the edge of the cell site, and you're mainly stuck on 1 to 2 bars and you're getting slow speeds, this could potentially give you a big speed increase even at the edge of the cell site. So I've seen it in many cases where if spectrum allows for it and there's plenty left, you can still maintain a great speed at 1 to 2 bars if the speeds and capacity allows for it. So it doesn't necessarily mean 1 to 2 bars that your service is completely bad and it doesn't work. Most of the times, the reason it doesn't work is because you're sitting at the edge of the cell site and the site is congested because it's carrying all the customers between you and the cell site. So now with this additional spectrum, that may no longer be the case in a lot of areas because that additional boost in spectrum. So again, like I said, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. This concludes this first part video. I will have some more info later on today in part 2. If you are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you are notified when I upload content. Make sure to follow my Twitter if you have one. I will post the videos on there as well. So YouTube has been dropping the ball. A lot of you have emailed me. I know some of you are saying YouTube's not dropping the ball. I get the notifications, but some of you aren't getting them immediately. Some are saying hours delay. Some are saying days. So I will post the videos on Twitter as they become available. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.